Hello and welcome to my living room. My name is Roy. I'm a home cook and amateur baker, and I'm here on this channel typically sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. I'm in the living room today, so obviously it's not a recipe. It is the monthly tag. Once a month, a group of us get together and answer some questions that one of the others of us has come up with. This month, for December, they are coming from Sandy over at Life with Sandy, and I will link to her channel as well as all of the other participants down in the description box, so go check them all out. I will also have the questions down there, which are not really questions this time, but I'll get into that in a moment. Now I'm recording in the living room, although I was tempted, even though last month I said this will be the last time I'm out on the porch. Yesterday, it was like 60 degrees out in December, the middle of December in Massachusetts, and I was tempted to do it outside on the porch. The problem was it was raining all day, so I couldn't. But I thought that would have been a nice surprise for you to see me once again, one last time out on the porch this year. But nature did not want me to do that apparently, so I am in the living room. Now, as I said, these questions aren't really questions. They are this or that. Sandy has given us two options, and we have to select which one we would prefer. Now, because these are just pretty quick questions, Sandy came up with 15 instead of the usual 10, but let's get started. Number 1, eggnog or hot cocoa? Honestly, it depends on my mood, and I'll probably say that a lot. I often say that because I'm very mood-based in what I do. Hot cocoa is really nice on a chilly day when you're sitting there and drinking it. Eggnog, I really love the creaminess and the flavor. I love it a little too much, although I do have an eggnog recipe that, if you are interested, you can have a whole cup for just 2 bites or blue points. But I'm distracting myself. I will link to that in the description box anyway. But which would I choose? I guess typically I would have to say the hot cocoa, just because I do tend to have that more often, but I really do love a nice creamy eggnog. But I'm going to go with hot cocoa. Number 2, mittens or gloves? Hands down, no pun intended, it's got to be gloves. I do not like mittens. I don't like the fact that my fingers can't actually do anything. They're all kind of stuck in there together. I don't like it. It's got to be gloves. Number 3, sweater or turtleneck? No way would I ever wear a turtleneck. It's way too confining. It's kind of like, I just don't like it. So I'd have to choose a sweater, but it would have to be a button-down sweater. If you followed the last tag that I did, we were talking about fall attire, and I love the sweatshirt, but it has to be a zipper. I can't do pullovers. I get too hot too easily, and to not be able to open it up, no. So I'm choosing a sweater, but it's got to be a button down. Number 4, snowman or snow angels? Now, it's been a very long time since I've done either, but I think I would have to take a snowman just because it's more creative, it's a little more fun, and the one appeal of snow angels is you can kind of just go out, do them, and you're done. A snowman takes a little more work, but it also allows for a little more creativity, so I'm going for a snowman. Number 5, gingerbread or sugar cookies? Now, I do love the flavor of gingerbread, and I've done some recent videos with gingerbread desserts, but I'd have to go sugar cookies. There's just something really comforting about those sugar cookies, the chewiness, if they're done right, the crispness on the outside. So yeah, I'd have to go with sugar cookies. Number 6, candy canes or peppermint bark? Now, Sandy, typically peppermint bark has bits of candy cane in it. So I'm going with peppermint bark because I get the best of both worlds. I get some peppermint and sometimes it's actual candy cane broken up in there, plus some form of chocolate. What's not to love there? Number 7, watching movies or reading books. Now, if this were about 10 years ago, I would have said reading books. But I have not been reading at all. I just can't get myself into reading again. So I'd have to go with watching movies. I do listen to audiobooks, but for some reason, just sitting down and reading is very hard for me to do these days. I don't know why. I have more time on my hands, but I'm not reading as much. I don't know, but I'd have to say, even though I love reading books, well, actually, since this is what I would prefer, I'd prefer reading books because you get more involved in it, you're more in depth in it. So I'm going with reading books as my preference, but what I'm doing more lately is watching movies and haven't been reading much at all, or writing for that matter. Number 8, sitting by fireside or sledding and tobogganing. I might have chosen sledding and tobogganing years ago. I mean, I'm talking very young years ago. Nowadays, I don't want to be out in the cold. I don't like the snow. I just want to be inside where it's nice and warm. So I'll be sitting by the fireside, probably having some hot cocoa or maybe some eggnog. Number 9, fuzzy socks or slippers. I don't mind fuzzy socks, but I would take the slippers just because I, with my issues, am a fall risk, and fuzzy socks being slippery would not be very helpful to me. I do have some of those hospital socks that have the little grips. They don't last very long. Once you've washed them a couple times, they don't grip anything anymore. But of the two, I do love a fuzzy sock, like if I'm laying in bed. But if I'm moving around, it's gotta be slippers. Number 10, build a snowman or a snowball fight. Well, I've never liked snowball fights. I hated getting hit with the snow and when it goes down your back. No, I'll have to choose building a snowman yet again. Get a little creative, get a little, time out there playing around. But snowball fight, you end up getting people mad or you throw, it's just, no. Number 11, ice skating or skiing. And to those I say no. I don't do either. I haven't tried ice skating. I used to roller skate, kind of. And I did try skiing one time when I was living in New York decades ago. My boyfriend Jason at the time, his sister worked for ABC television in New York, and there was a trip to a ski resort. So we went and I tried to ski. I did the little lesson and they told you how you're supposed to stop. And I'm going down the hill and it's a slope, a little slope. It's not really a hill. And I could not stop. I kept trying. I finally, as I'm heading towards the racks of skis and all these people are running out of my way, I finally had to throw myself over into the snow so that I didn't crash into anyone. And I was in the jacuzzi after that. So I wouldn't want either. If I have to choose, I think ice skating looks fun. I don't know how you stand on one little blade, but it does look fun, so I guess I'll choose ice skating. Number 12, fuzzy robe or flannel pajamas. Now I just talked about the sweaters and sweatshirts having to be able to open them. Flannel pajamas, typically for men, they would have a button down, but I don't like wearing long sleeves at all, and typically they are long sleeves. So I would go with a fuzzy robe because I can open it up. I can get warm, open it up, and cool down a little bit. But flannel pajamas being, no. So yeah, I'm going with a fuzzy robe. I don't like the feel of pajamas. I never sleep in pajamas. Just having all that cloth on you to tangle you up, and especially flannel where it gets too warm. No, I need a robe that I can warm up in and then open it up when I get too warm. Number 13, candy canes or chocolate Santas. While I love a good candy cane, I gotta go with anything chocolate, especially if you can do the peppermint bark and then have them both. But if I have to choose one or the other, I'm going with the chocolate Santas. 14, artificial tree or real tree. Now, I've had an artificial tree for ages now. I would never want to do a real tree again. They're just way too messy. It's too much work. I couldn't do it. I used to do real trees a long time ago. It was a tradition for a very long time for my friend and I to go out and grab me a tree somewhere on my birthday, which is December 5th. So I would go get the tree and decorate it that day. But it's just so much work. I remember vacuuming up pine needles forever. And it's dragging it, no, the sap gets on your hands. I'm artificial all the way. And number 15, white lights or colorful lights. My tree has white lights. I used to do colorful lights, but it's a little too chaotic in my ADD rattled brain. So I don't mind if it's white and another color, or even two different colors, but having them all different colors, I can't do it. So I do white lights, but I wouldn't be opposed to like white and blue, white and red, something like that. But of those two, I'm going with white lights all the way. And that is all of the questions, or this or that. So I'd like to thank Sandy for coming up with these questions. And again, comment down below what your responses to these are, because I will have them listed in the description box. Also in the description box are the links to the other channels that are doing this tag, so go check them out and give them some subscription love if you wouldn't mind. And I am kind of curious if any of you out there answer all of the questions the same way that I did. I don't know that anyone will get them all the same, but if you did, let me know down below. Anyway, if you enjoyed this little Christmas tag video, I would appreciate you doing the usual, like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification bell for the next time I upload any sort of video, such as this one, which is coming up on a day I don't typically post anything. And if you're watching it on the day, Tuesday the 12th of December, then know that tomorrow I am also doing a little collab, a mini collab with Dee from Dish with Dee, and we are doing our top 10 low bite, low point, healthy-ish comfort foods. So there'll be a list of those on each of our channels. This is part of her Vlogmas, and I'm joining in with her on that one day. I can't do Vlogmas, it's just way too much work. But check us out tomorrow and find out what our favorite healthy comfort foods are. And if you'd like, you can check out my blog. It's linked down in the description box. In case you are looking for recipes that can help you on a weight loss journey, go check out that blog. I've been doing this about 2.5 years now, so there are plenty of recipes for all sorts of things, from dinners to desserts to breakfast to snacks to dressings. So check out my blog if you're looking for any sort of recipes that can help you on a weight loss journey. Also down there is my Amazon storefront. If I've ever used anything on the channel that you are interested in, it may be there. Also down there is my Fetch Rewards, Built Bar Rewards, Skinny Syrups code, and my social media, which is my Instagram and 3 Facebook groups that I'm part of. So check out that description box for the questions, for the links, and for all sorts of other information. Well, the December tag is officially closed, although there may be a surprise or two in that regard coming up for the holidays. But I'm not saying any more. So until next time, bye.